This is a HeadGum podcast.
And welcome to MELR0210, a sideshow of the We Hate Movies podcast, reminding you to remain indoors because we're still quarantining here. We're quarantining with a bunch of hot and sexy people, as we are not hot and sexy people. I'm here with not sexy people, Andrew Jupin, Chris Cabin, and Eric Siska.
Hello.
Yeah, none of us are
and
sexy.
also Mel Rose is here. This dude named Mel Rose, who's like, "Hey, you talking about
Mel Rose?"
That would be great if he came out at the end. Yeah, it's not Mr. Whatever. It's Mel Rose. And this is my place.
Melrose Place.
I own the street. That's I bought it from the government because my name is Mel Rose, and I thought it was pretty catchy, if you ask me. It works beautifully with the ladies.
Beautifully.
I just love the notion of this fucking pig bought a whole street for some reason from the government. Also great.
Yes, we have good deals with Mel Rose. He's an old friend of mine.
We're letting these streets go for a song, folks.
He's a close friend of my other good friend, the My Pillow guy.
Dude,
Dude, what in the fuck is wrong with the world when that guy is around now?
I'm coming down to Melrose Place to judge all your bikinis. Keep barbecuing.
Yeah. Oh, Jane, you're still just in a pool by yourself, huh?
Oh my God.
What are you, 19? Get out.
Yeah.
Too old, get out.
Get out, you old bag.
Yeah, put that wedding ring away.
We opened here in a weird, Nexus-y place. This is Lost and Found, original air date July 22nd, the year of our Lord, 1992.
Oh, yeah.
And we are sort of looking for Nicky the Nose a little bit here. Anybody else get that vibe?
Dude, yeah, I was like, is this a dream sequence? Are we on the holodeck? What the fuck is going on with this horse shit?
It's terrible.
I got some tech noir vibes from Terminator.
Oh, definitely.
I could see that.
And we see Billy, and he's all greased up. He's missing a duster. He should have a duster in this outfit.
That, I think, would solidify Chris Cabin's notion of tech noir.
Yeah,
But he does have the Kyle Reese 5 o'clock shadow.
Hey, come with me if you want to live already.
Sarah Connor, do you want to go on a date with me or what?
I need your duster. I need your greasy hair. And I need your wait. You don't have a car. Oh no, your taxi.
I also need your garbage writing style.
Your son will lead the resistance, and he will liberate us from the machines.
It's a C800 outfit. It's a killing machine.
That'd be funny if he was in the Sarah Connor role. I would be rooting for that creepy fucking psychiatrist to shoot him full of shit.
You're dead. Everybody's dead.
Oh man, yeah, this A plot of Billy writing a screenplay, man, this is just like, you are wishing for this dude to fail and, to quote Jerry Seinfeld, be spit out of the back of the porn industry.
The weird thing about this show is somebody, Aaron Spelling and Darren Star, whomever, was like, okay, we want a bunch of sexy 20-somethings going through their sexy problems. But for some reason, we're going to anchor it with these two unlikable people. You know what I mean? I would rather watch everybody else. At some point, Matt is like, hey, I'm going to go to some crazy gay party. I know I can't say I'm gay, but that's obviously what we're doing. I'm like, let's go to that fucking party. Let's see what's going on.
Dude, you know what, though? I was pretty nervous for Matt because, that whole scene, and we'll get to it later, but, that whole exchange that he has with Allison, he's like, I'm going to go to this party. It's going to be fucking crazy, Allison. You have no idea how fucking crazy this crazy, David Lynchian Hollywood Hills party is going to be. Then they pull back a little bit, and there's this, wide shot where you can see both of them. he's wearing like the most disgusting beat up Nike sneakers I've ever. And I was like, dude, you can't go to that party with those shoes on. You can wear all the fun fucking t-shirts you want, Matt, but that makes no sense.
Andrew, you can't judge him until you walked a mile in those.
Dude, they look like fucking Forrest Gump's trainers, man.
Maybe they are. He's a co-current celebrity. Oh wait, no, 94 is when Forrest Gump comes out. Right?
Oh, right.
But he was already
right.
jogging across the nation before they made a movie about him.
That's true.
So we open and like there's Michael is cleaning the pool, obviously, and he's about to go to work. And Jane is like, "Will somebody please fuck me?"
Yeah.
Well, this is
Who's gonna do it?
What are you waiting for?
That's all. That's her. I can't believe 3 weeks in a row it's the same fucking plot. When is Jane gonna get fucked?
Matt, I'll pay you.
See, well, I think this is to establish that like marriage is inherently a loveless connection and it just doesn't work. So you should stay a sexy single 20-something at Mel Rose's place.
I mean, dude, I'm sorry that it's confirmed again. I think we confirmed it with I think Allison is also supposed to be 23, but it's confirmed in this episode that Jane is 23.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, you're 23 years old. You just moved to Los Angeles, you know, one of the sexiest cities of all time, and you're fucking married to this idiot that you never see. What are you doing? You got the steps all out of order.
I think the central thesis of the show is ABFA. Always be fucking around.
Absolutely.
Like in any way you can. Just be fucking around. Maybe flirting is better, but flirting around. But no, I think it's mostly fucking around.
But Steve, you're totally right, though, because what I've started doing, both with this show and with our 90210 watching, I break my notes up into the plots. So, like, I have A plot is Billy in this fucking script or whatever. The C plot, which we'll get to, is Jake desperately needs to dump Kelly Taylor. But the B plot is the same B plot of Jane wanting to fuck her husband and it just not working out.
I like the notion of they're going to recreate their first night when they moved to Los Angeles. They're going to get Pink's hot dogs and then they're going to, well, how she puts it and the way she words it is what makes this scene magical is what is they're going to watch a video of Ghost. And for a second, it took me a second to put it together. Oh, they mean the film. They're going to watch the movie Ghost, not just a video of a ghost.
Oh, yeah, we're going to watch some fucking haunted house footage that I shot.
Maybe.
I'm so scared. Oh, my God. I'm so scared.
Don't you remember the first time we had sex and we watched a videotape of my first cat who got run over named Ghost right before we had Sweet, Sweet Love?
Actually, though, it could go down with some serious fucking role playing, though, dude, because Jane definitely has Demi Moore's haircut from Ghost.
Yeah.
Excellent point. I was going there, too. Definitely. He could be either Patrick Swayze or he's more of a Tony Goldwyn vibe, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. He's more of a Tony Goldwyn. I can't wait to see his sharded glass rip through Michael.
Some clay play?
Oh, yeah, definitely clay play, man.
And if you paid Billy, I bet you he'd sing for you while you play with clay. Oh, my love, my darling, your love.
See, Allison, it's so easy to make it in Hollywood. I can't wait to be a super celebrity.
One last thing on this before we go back to fucking Billy and his horse shit is she's like, yeah, it'll be great. And he agrees. And obviously he's going to fail at that. That's how all these stories go. It's like, I'll get out at 7. We'll go, blah, blah. They do make it very specific. Chili dogs with extra chili. So we're having chili fart sex a little later is the idea.
Dude, it could be straight up scat play. You never know.
Well, you could probably handle it with your digestion back in the day. At this point in your relationship, no, you're farting the whole time.
Oh, absolutely, dude. They're letting him fly. And they both definitely have like stress ulcers.
You're dead, Willie. Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
I'm rock hard.
Also, just really quickly on the Billy thing or on the Michael thing. Again, exemplifying his terrible job at being the super.
Yes.
He's trying to clean this pool while his wife is like molesting him, like, come on, don't you want to fuck me? And he's like, you know what, maybe I'll stop cleaning this pool. And he literally throws the skimmer into the water, and I'm like, dude, Jake is unemployed.
There's nothing but hair in there, man. All these fucking people, their enormous big 90s hair is getting clogged in that fucking drain.
And big 90s not maintaining our pubes as well as we should be.
Yeah.
Some of these people got sweater chests. I don't know. It could be
definitely.
floating anywhere.
So yeah, Billy wakes up. He's like, we realize he's writing this screenplay, like, and he's like, I don't think this fucking ape has ever seen a keyboard. He's like one key in it each time.
Oh, dude, I love that. He's like my fucking grandfather typing something.
And
Also
Allison-
working in the kitchen.
Yeah, and Allison's like, why aren't you at work? You were supposed to pick up your taxi like 2 hours ago. So I can't stand it. Get to fucking work, Billy.
Well, that's the thing, dude. That's this like insane, delirium that he has right now, where it's like, I don't need the cab job anymore that I've had for 1 week, Allison, because this is a guaranteed hot seller script. I'm going to be making deals left and right. Like, he's certifiable.
Allison, do you know that screenplays are selling for $1 million a pop these days?
Dispatchers and disbelievers.
I'm just
Yeah, I read that the Batman Returns script was really expensive, so my fucking horseshit gumshoe nonsense will be double that as much.
He goes to Allison's office again, just pestering this woman at work. And he's like, got the fucking thing printed out. He's like, hey, Allison, here's the script for my screenplay, The Big Shock. You know, it's great. I can see the advertising now. The Big Shock is a big shock. Do you get it?
Is this gonna be a thing where he's gonna have like a new job every episode? Like in a week, it's gonna be like, Allison, the president is in town and they hired me to be security.
Dude, he's like Homer Simpson.
Exactly.
Allison, the mayor is opening up legalized gambling. I'm gonna work at a casino.
Allison, I accidentally went to Japan and now I lost my ticket and I'm gutting fish to get my money back. Call me back.
Oh, man, a voicemail. Or I should say answering machine message.
Answering machine. My God. So
He makes the craziest demand right here. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
It's so one, you are bothering this woman at work. 2, you bring your screenplay. Thanks. I don't want to read it. But he's like, so Allison, I need notes by tonight. I need all this constructive criticism by tonight because I'm going out in the morning and dropping this off at the office of every agent in town. Yeah, again, okay, scumfuck, you don't know how things work.
And it's a first draft, dude. Fucking spend more than a few hours on this.
Exactly. It's so, and she's like, tonight? Like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, I'm working, dude. And he's like, don't worry, Allison. When I'm a big successful screenwriter, you won't need this job anyway. I can take care of the both of us. I'm gonna be a screenwriter.
But the thing is too, is like we've all worked, and I mean, like, this is kind of where this episode goes. Like, we've all like worked on stuff and like screenplays and sketches and blah 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 and all sorts of stuff. And you always kind of ask people for feedback. It's usually an email. It's usually like, hey man, when you have the time.
Yep.
With an open-ended, I probably will never hear notes on this.
Exactly.
Like, come on, Allison, where's my fucking feedback?
You know, Allison, Patty Tayeski once said, editing is for suckers.
Suckers.
I do not think that Billy knows who Patty Chayefsky is. I'm just gonna say it.
Sorry.
No, I mean, because the other thing is Allison is like, because when she walks into the kitchen initially, he's like, there, the 2 greatest words of the English language, the end. And she's like, wait, what are you talking about? I thought you were like writing books and stuff. He's like, oh, forget that, Allison. I just discovered this new thing called movies. But she like keeps calling him Norman Mailer. Like, that's the go-to like author that he recognizes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Nobody liked Norman Mailer's movies until like years after they came out.
Well, no
What
one's
are you
gonna like
talking
The
about?
Big Shock, dude.
Well, of course.
Yeah, well, and he's like, oh man, and it's got all the stuff that people are looking for these days. I'm like, nobody wants bullshit noir. Nobody's ever wanted it.
Not
And
in 1992. Not like this. Not like this.
And we're gonna
I just thought Angel Heart, Allison.
I mean, Louis Seifert's genius.
I'm sorry, Eric, I cut you off.
No, I mean, like, I guess we were just going through these parts like piecemeal. Later on in this, when Allison tells him about what she hated about it, and there's talk of there's a transsexual ex-nun is the killer, and it's like, so this show now has done this twice.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, no, the transsexuality being a punchline for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
which I guess is more of a, what do you call it there? A crying game joke question mark.
Yeah, I guess so.
What? Because Crying Game was what, 90? Maybe.
Yeah. That was a big joke for a long time, Chris.
I mean,
Ace Ventura.
I mean, unless you're selling this script to Abel Ferrara, I don't know how you think this is going to sell.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about this transsexual ex-nun aside, like, that's a surprise in the script, because when he's describing it, one, the fantasy part of it looks like your average, like, garbage gumshoe noir thing. But then he's talking about, like, oh, did you like the part where the hero jumps out of the window and blasts two guys before he lands in the pool? And I'm like, this is, again, funny enough, this is like a script that Homer Simpson would write.
Yes.
You know, like, you wrote a shitty McBain type thing, it feels like.
The studio messed with my story. Now it's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Now he's talking out of his butt. Ugh, Allison.
Oh, wait a minute. That movie was super successful and now I'm loaded. Whatever.
The only thing they kept, Allison, was that both screenplays, mine and theirs, were super destructive of packages. My detective started out as a UPS driver.
The thrust of this storyline is, oh my God, Billy's script sucks. Do I have to tell him? And the answer is absolutely not.
No.
The answer is absolutely not.
And thanks for nothing, Matt, as you desperately try to be a part of this show in some fashion with your fucking creepy, untold, mysterious party and your terrible sneakers.
You know,
dude, he's like, you gotta fucking tell him. And I'm like, no, Matt, horrendous advice.
No, yeah, it's terrible advice. And you know what this really is exactly like? Is the adaptation brother.
Yes.
And his script that they're like, oh, he's like, it's god awful. He's like, no, it will sell. This thing will absolutely sell. Whatever this garbage is, absolutely, they'll buy it. Just for the title, The Big Shock.
But you're not saying Matt is saying that.
No, not Matt. Like, Matt is like, I don't blame him at all for this. Is all Allison to me. 100% Allison.
Oh, it's great. You know, maybe I would make this scene a little bit more clear. Bye. I never want to talk to you about this again. Please send it to every agent and ruin your life.
Well, that's the thing. Like, she knows it's going to be terrible, right? So, like, here's the thing. It's win-win for her if she lies, because she lets him down easy, and then he gets rejected by the actual professionals, like is going to happen, and that's fine. Or the impossible scenario, which is also fine for her, is that she says that she likes it. Then it turns out he sells it and it is a big hit, so she can act like she was right the whole time anyway.
Yeah, win-win. And you don't have to have this awkward conversation where you're hurting someone's feelings. Like, never, ever tell anybody what you really think, period. Period.
But Matt's advice is like, all right, you know what? Why don't you make him dinner to soften the blow? And so she makes like a tuna casserole. Yeah. And I see what they're eating is like this prop tuna casserole, and I don't know, man. Don't look like no tuna casserole I've ever seen.
Looked like canned clam chowder.
Yes, it definitely did. She just dumped canned clam chowder on spaghetti.
Progressive.
But there's, of course, the exchange that Billy never wants to have happens is he's like, what did you hate about it? And she goes, everything.
Yeah.
But then his fucking kickback, that was hilarious. Well, you have no taste, just like your lousy casserole. You fucking piece of shit, Billy. I hate you.
So he storms out, obviously. Well, fucking forget it. And he runs off to Shooters.
And what does he drink there, dude? He drinks a fucking Coca-Cola and eats a candy bar. I hate this guy.
Dude, this fucking little man-child. He's the absolute worst.
And he's like, oh, sugar all heals all wounds, Allison. I guess I'm not so great at screenplays after all.
But I am pretty good at acting like a real-life Kathy cartoon. Here's some more sugar.
Could you get me a whatchamacallit?
And she consoles him, and she's like, you know, you're gonna make it, buddy. That was just your first screenplay. You know, everything's gonna be great. And with that, he burns his screenplay at the end of the episode. Pretty dramatic.
I love this, man. He's out. He's got the fucking script on the grill. It's the old-fashioned Tinseltown cookout, I call it.
It's great.
I love seeing
burning this creation.
Yeah, I love seeing paper burn.
Page by page. But the thing about that, though, I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, I get it, dude. Like, maybe it's a little cathartic. You're like, got this one thing out of my system. Let's just keep writing. He's taking Allison's advice and everything. But at the same time, everyone else in the complex has to be like, is that paper burning? What's going on? Is there a fire outside?
There's an acrid smell coming into my house right now. What the fuck is happening?
The middle of the night. It's like, dude, it's fucking 2 a.m. I got work tomorrow, and you're fucking burning garbage on my doorstep.
Exactly.
Did you clear this with our landlord, Mel Rose?
Yeah, it's fine. You burn garbage at all hours at Mel Rose's place.
Hey, burn my wife's birth certificate. Don't ask.
Look, I'm gonna burn stuff out here. You can burn stuff out here. Neither the twain shall meet. We do not talk to each other about it.
It's like being at a urinal. You look your way, I'll look mine. In the burning things department.
It might be paper. It might be a body. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, I ran out of things to burn this month, so you kids are going to have to collect some garbage that I need to burn. I just want to burn some garbage.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so
Yes.
that's the A plot. B plot, yeah, Jane and Michael's LA, move-aversary / to make up for Michael having to work like a doctor. Jane decides to go out with Rhonda. They go hunting at shooters.
Well, she winds up, he calls her, he's like, obviously I'm on call, I can't get out, blah, blah, blah. She's disappointed. And then she goes to Michael's work with these fucking hot dogs and chili, and she's, they're going to do something in the closet, but he's like, I'm sorry, I'm literally doctoring right now.
Yeah, I am on call, man. Like, I am sorry. This is just the nature of being a fucking doctor. Not for nothing. A doctor who's like, the low person on the pole, like he just started working there. So like, yeah, you might get some shitty shifts or whatever. Like, this is the life.
But I think he also has a nurse a couple rooms over that is waiting for him.
I mean, that is yet to be
true?
revealed, Chris Cabin, with all these. But you're right, because we suspected this last week with all his late night getting home at 3 a.m. from shifts and things.
Yeah,
so.
I think it started already. We're going to get the reveal eventually, but I think it's been happening for
Chris,
a while.
Do you think it's the head nurse?
Come on.
Hey-oh! You are correct, sir. Oral sex from nurses. Very good. Very good.
Eric, are you going to talk about Dr. Vinny Boom Bots next?
Yeah.
I
also,
love-
mother-in-laws. You hear about them?
You hear about the COVID virus? It keeps your mother-in-law at bay because she's highly susceptible.
Oh, let me just swing a golf club here.
There's a great thing though. I love this moment where she comes in with the food and it's like 3 candles are lit, like 1 candle for every month we've been in LA, she says. And there's like 3 other doctors in this break room, and this guy's like, hey, other doctors, let's get doctoring because this doctor is gonna fuck this sexy lady in our break room. Like, they're acting like they all totally get it. It is the funniest thing. Like, all right, clear up, ramblers, let's get rambling.
Up, chili dogs, coffee. You're definitely not going to shit your brains out. You're going to fuck. You're fucking tonight.
So she goes back to Melrose Place and is like, just goes in the pool wearing this insane bathing suit. This purple and whatever thing is crazy looking. But this is when we're still figuring out who the fuck Sandy is, and the answer is nothing because she gets cut after this season. But she's like, I guess I'm sort of evil or something. Why don't you go out and get fucked, Jane? You won't get fucked, don't you, Jane?
Part of me was like, is she hitting on Jane?
Yes, exactly. She's like, you should come to Shooters and see what happens.
I'm working tonight, y'all.
I'm very happy this character gets cut, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't know
she's-
that till now, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, she don't make it past this season, which is fine by me.
But you still got 20 more hours with her, Eric. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, so she's like, okay, I guess I will. And she goes, and yeah, it's her and Rhonda. Rhonda's a character. Hooray.
we get some Rhonda in this episode. There's a great like on the town montage.
Yes.
Which I'm loving all this fucking LA B-roll locked in my house. I got to tell you.
I want to go to Shooters really, really badly.
So fucking badly, dude. I just need to be in a bar.
It's just like, it's big. There's like a bunch of people there. There's music.
There's like hunky dudes like Alex and Peter.
Alex and Peter. Peter, who's dressed like a fucking vampire, a lost boy in this episode.
Is this the dude
with
that
the longer hair?
Yeah, this guy. He's got fucking Michael Landon's haircut, man. He looks like Joaquin Phoenix with the head of hair of Michael Landon.
And we also get the guy and Peter's going after Jane, but this other guy, Alex, is going after Rhonda, who's played by Nestor Carbonell, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and also this guy. I mean, we're talking 1992. This guy has not aged a day.
No.
It's kind of fucking crazy. He looks exactly like he did in 1992 to this day.
Yep, the Gotham mayor. He looks. I mean, it's the same thing.
There is but the weird thing about shooters though that I realized in this episode is I think maybe it's just like a set design thing or something's not matching just right yet. Or I mean, it could just be a thing within the show that shooters has a real identity problem, because the shot at the end of the episode when Allison goes in to find Billy, we get like a nice wide shot of the exterior of shooters and like this front door, and it looks like it's supposed to be a fucking like Grecian garden kind of place, and like it opens into a big lobby. Like you see, I don't think it's actually Courtney Thorne-Smith, but it's like an actress that's supposed to be here, like going in. But then when you get in, it's like, okay, well, it's sort of nice, but then there's also like the grungy pool table area.
It looks like the bar from Dusk Till Dawn quite a bit.
Really?
I guess to me, it's just so big and like
the
levels
titty
to it.
Twister?
And shit. Yeah, it looks a bit like the titty twister, I think.
Wow, I would not have guessed the titty twister. I'll have to go back the next time we're at Shooters.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a fancy Italian restaurant that just happens to have two fucking pool tables in the middle of it.
That's what I'm thinking,
that's
Kevin.
fair.
It feels like it's a restaurant that also has a bar, but the characters on this show are using it exclusively as a bar.
Well, the thing is, this location was probably used like 1,000 times in every other movie and TV show as a different thing.
Right. Well, I mean, the interior, I'm pretty sure, is just a set.
Yeah,
but
it's just
it
a
stinks of
Frankenstein.
Grisham.
John Grisham?
It stinks of John Grisham adaptations. I mean, the inner look of this place, like where you would need to be like, oh, you know that case that's going to get me killed? Oh, yeah, the case that's going to get you killed. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a place where lawyers have gone to talk about stuff over like a bread basket. Yeah, absolutely.
So Sandy again goes up to Jane, like she's like, oh, you think you're hot shit, but no one's going to hit on you because you got your wedding ring on. Better take that off, love. Bye. It's like, okay, you weirdo. Like, I'm just here having a drink. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to get hit on. You know, no, I still got it. She would be anyway, whatever. But like, it's very weird that she like gets tempted by Sandy and takes her ring off. It's very odd.
Hey, y'all, I'm like the Melrose Place Woody Woodpecker. I'm just a little instigator, y'all. I'm causing all sorts of trouble, child.
What's the problem, Jane? You don't like the Roger Daltrey type?
Yeah, what is that?
Jake, you want to get rid of that Kelly, huh? You better kill her. No one will ever know, Jake.
I wish.
I got a big old trunk in the back of my car.
You know, everybody knows Jake ain't even your real name. You could disappear.
Come on, you can do it. Just give it a shot, Bartholomew.
I don't know. So like, yeah, they start flirting with these two guys, Rhonda and Jane do. And like Jane is like, you know, she's into this dude, but it's like obviously just for the attention, you know, blah blah blah. Michael's been away for so far. It's right. Nice to know that she's still got it, etc. She does take her wedding ring off, and I mean, this is a huge mistake. Like, if you're taking your ring off, don't put in this fucking a cloak like coat that like barely has pockets. You know, it's gonna fall right out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're doing there. Let's just like take it and put it on another finger, and then it's just a ring that you're wearing.
Exactly, or put it in your bag. Maybe put it in Rhonda's bag. Like, just put it someplace it's not going to obviously fall out, which it does.
Right. And then
sorry, you go.
So they learn that like, you know, these two dudes are in a band, and at least I have to say, unlike fucking Billy, that delusional idiot, these two dudes are like, because they're like, oh, where can we hear your stuff? You know, where do you play or whatever? And they're like, we have no fans. We just started to get together. You know, we practice a lot, but that's about it. And I was like, Well done, gentlemen. An honest answer about the status of your creative outlet. Well done.
Oh, so you have a hobby. Okay. Not a band so much as a hobby. Okay.
And Rhonda is fucking sex hunting tonight. She's like, oh yeah, where can I get you Guns and Roses? And like, she's like all over this dude, man. It's a lot.
She is hot for Nestor Carbonell, and it's like, yeah, wouldn't you be?
Well, yeah, look at that jawline. Jesus Christ.
Those fucking eyelashes, dude, are you insane? My goodness. So here's the thing though, Rhonda and Jane never follow two strange musicians to a second location.
Absolutely not.
Stay at the home base. Shooters is home base. Shooters is safe.
Oh yeah, but this club we're gonna go to, the bouncer is the drummer in our band, and he will help me bury your body at the end of the night.
And he'll say he never saw you. They go to a Blade-esque nightclub, by the way. This place is fucking weird.
Here's my question about this place though, because there's a couple of levels to this place. So we see some like carpeting at one point that sort of looks like shit you'd see at like Rock and Bowl or something. But the other thing, like when they cut to this club, the first thing you see is like Jane and this other dude. What's his name? Peter?
Yes.
They're dancing and like it's kind of getting a little close, and she's like, 6 inches for the Lord. I'm gonna go sit down. But you get a look at this fucking dance floor, though. It is clearly the floor of a gymnasium.
Yeah.
You can see like the wood boards like on the floor. It's like, what are we doing, location scout?
Welcome to PE, the greatest nightclub in LA.
I mean, seriously, it's like that Bill Hader gag on SNL. It's like, the hottest club in Los Angeles right now is PE. It's made from an actual gymnasium where you can go in and have a fat man blow a whistle in your ear for 45 minutes.
Yeah, actually, we got the plans. It's a pretty tragic story. We got the plans for this nightclub from this kid who accidentally shot himself in Beverly Hills. He liked to imagine nightclubs that he had never been to before, and he just loved imagining them. And we're doing this in tribute. This is in tribute to him.
Make total sense because he was imagining nightclubs while he was in high school, like hanging around the high school gymnasium.
That makes sense for sure.
And I think the timeline kind of matches up because Steve, doesn't Scott axe himself in season 3 of Beverly Hills 90210?
In season 2, actually, so there's plenty of time.
Even better, yeah.
He's not long for this world, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the Scott memorial toilet you could go to in there.
Yeah, you could piss right in that dude's face.
You can see Scott's. We got a big old picture of him right near the condom machine.
It's on the stall wall. There's a picture of him. Someone drilled a hole and made his mouth a glory hole.
Come on.
But
first day, by the way. First day that happened. I don't know how.
We weren't even open for business yet, and that was just there.
They what do you call it? So they're hitting it off, they're dancing, and then she goes back to the table, and obviously Peter starts putting the real moves on her, and she's like, hey man. And he's like, what? You said you didn't have a boyfriend? She's like, well, actually I'm married. And she goes to get her wedding ring. Uh-oh, it's gone. And now cut to her like on the floor at this place, like all over the carpeting looking for. I mean, also like
disgusting.
It's a night. It's gone. It is gone because
it's gone.
You can't see anything. You can't hear anything. You're never gonna find it.
They do this whole scene from the floor,
yes,
which is hilarious. Like she's on her hands and knees looking for this thing, and this dude Peter's like, hey man, like not for nothing, like I get it when I asked you had a boyfriend and you said technically no, but a husband is something, you probably should have told me about. This is just all horribly awkward. Also, I'm not particularly helping look for this ring.
Problem. So she winds up going home really dejected, and because she never finds it, and like
Rhonda making out hardcore with Nestor Carbonell.
Absolutely,
at the good nights right here.
And so she goes back home. Michael is there. He's a little worried. He's been drinking, apparently.
Dude, funniest shot in the fucking episode, Steve, is like she walks in and it's like she can hear some music. The apartment's completely dark. And then she looks down and the camera tilts down to follow her line of sight. And it's just this fucking bottle of booze and like a half-drank glass on the table. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a where were you? And then they fuck. It's like kind of, he's like, I was worried about, first of all, she got the result she wanted,
She did, yeah.
She did, and to the T, because there is a romantic plate of chili hot dogs that gets a beautiful shot right before he inserts himself.
All those candles everywhere. So many candles surrounding these chili hot dogs, keeping them warm.
Keeping it warm. Also, dude, possibly what it would look like if you ever had a funeral for a hot dog.
The needs of the wieners outweigh the needs of the few.
Dude, he just goes,
We are gathered here today. We are mourning Mr. Oscar Mayer.
oh man, that was a tasty funeral.
Although he was a hot dog, I never met someone more human.
He always wanted me just to call him Nathan. He didn't want me to go with last names. We had a connection, and his name was Nathan.
And now we'll have a reading from the Torah because, as you know, he was a Hebrew national.
oh, excellent.
But also all of those candles, dude, that chili dog, you fucking fart. It's going up like goddamn, I don't even know what.
Like someone who had a real gas leak fire explosion. I don't know. I'm sure that comes later on Melrose
It'll
Place.
explode like the house and from What About Bob, man? It'll go right up.
Yeah, exactly. He does have the line, it just seems like it's been forever.
It's like, yeah, dude, that's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, but you're busy. Like, I get it. But also, here's the other thing. The problem here is that at the beginning of the episode, she's like ready to go. And he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. And he gets into it. And then she's like, whoa, save some of that for tonight. And I'm like, Jane, we have been down this road since the pilot. You're doing this. You're putting it off. You're kicking the fucking down the road. And then he's going to have to work. You know he's going to have to work. He's free now. Why don't you get it on now?
Yes, absolutely. And they do fuck, and she's like about to tell him that she lost the ring. By the way, we find out the ring was an heirloom from Sicily. The mafia was involved. It was very scary.
Oh no, Michael's ancestors are going to cut my fucking head off. I lost this ring.
They could just sense it's missing.
It was Apollonia's. She was wearing it in the car when it blew up.
Made its way to America.
With only
Kate, whatever her name was, had it for a while.
That ring only had $10 in its pocket when it got to America. And look at it today.
You have to understand, in our country, as a ring, things worked a little differently.
Yeah, the ring first came over when it got to Ellis Island. It had tuberculosis, so the ring had to be in quarantine for a few days on Ellis Island.
So right when she's about to tell him, Sandy shows up because in another scene that we'll get to in a minute with the Jake story, she finds the ring and is like, hey, I'm sorry, y'all. Here's your ring. And then like Michael's like, your ring? You lost it? And she's like, oh no, she lost it in the laundry room. Yeah, it had bleach all over it or something. Bye, everybody. I guess I'm a pretty nice gal after all, or am I not? Who knows? We'll never find out.
I think she's nice.
Yeah, she's
What?
nice.
Mostly,
lady-
I think she's
That
nice.
lady is scum.
Sandy?
Yeah. That's the southern one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's meddling, you know?
She is sticking it where it don't belong.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes.
So then this brings us to the Jake storyline, the third and final, I believe, appearance of this contractually obligated crossover between Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place, and it is the weakest of the bunch because it's just Kelly, Steve, and David at the Gap of all places. It looks like,
And this is, I mean, I don't know, Steve. I guess maybe like in the 90s, like the Gap had a little more cachet than it does now. But I was like, would Kelly Taylor shop at the Gap? It seems so basic.
It does. Well, I mean, I guess at the same time, though, if you think about those like 90s, I mean, I remember the Gap being like a really kind of almost a high end item, especially back then. And like you think about those Gap sketches on 902 and on SNL.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Gap
it was like a
girls.
phenomenon back then. But back then, everyone used to like shop at the tractor store and shit. Tractor Supply or whatever.
That's a really good
like,
point, Eric.
Whoa, a clothing place. It was a big thing.
Casual denim, different colors of denim.
Wait a second. This comes in carpenter and regular?
We've also opened a Tractor Store Kids and a Tractor Store Boutique.
Tractor Store Baby.
Wholesale Tractor Store.
Tractor Store Active. That's
What I love how Jake's storyline starts though. He and Sandy are doing laundry.
That's right.
In the basement, and he is flat out being like, dude, I know you're like the Woody Woodpecker of this apartment complex, but I'm telling you right now, I did not commit statutory rape with this high school student. I promise you that.
By the way, but she's coming over tonight, so I'm washing my sheets.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. Yeah, it's like, dude, I get it. Like, but you got to be a little more firm when you're talking with others about this, that you plan on telling her that it's a no-go.
Because she's a little girl, you know. I'm taking her to the grocery store for a date.
Yeah. Well,
Can't take her to a bar or anything. I'll take her to the grocery store.
I do love, I mean, just to finish the Gap scene, it's just like, oh, it's just Steve and David being like, I don't know about this Jake. And it's like, fucking, we've got this already. We are on fucking fumes here.
It's so useless. The one thing, though, to point out, because it's pretty glorious and it makes me excited to eventually, quarantine show or no, get to season 3 of 90210, because the Steve Sanders mullet has returned in full force.
Holy mackerel. It is it's glorious. It reminds me very much, if you've ever read 90s Superman, when he has a mullet. I mean, it's brown versus blonde, but it's curly and long, very much like this.
They gave Superman the duck's ass?
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's got a full-on mullet for 4 or 5 years. It was a long time for that mullet.
Oh, yikes. That's horrendous. No fucking superhero can save the world with a mullet.
Can I tell you something? Since we did the 90210 just the last week, where David's father, no. Kelly's mother wants to meet David's father.
Oh no, it's Steve's mother wants to be David's father.
Oh, so it's not this, because I felt like I was in a Terrence Malick movie and I had time jumped when they say we're step siblings. I'm like, what? What just happened?
It is. I mean, it's further on. They do. David's dad and Kelly's mom get together, and
I was like, did they say something about
guys.
step siblings? Oh, yes. And then I just kept watching.
Because like, Kelly, I'm your brother. She's like, step brother. He's like, yeah, I know. And it's like,
that's what makes it legal.
Oh, well, that's a good question you raise, Eric. Steve, can you weigh in on this? Is there any funny business there?
There's like, he wants to fuck her for a really long time, and then the joke is, oops, now they're step siblings, and then eventually it becomes very platonic. But at the first, it's like, hello, stepsister, kind of a thing. And like,
well, because I think in the pilot of this, he's got his arm around what's her face, Donna.
Yeah.
Are they an item or no?
They become an item, yes.
I see. Gotcha.
Senator, they become an item.
I can answer in the affirmative. They become an item.
Day 4 of the Beverly Hills 90210 trial. Mr. Shadak, in season 4, does Donna and David get together? And also, why does she remain a virgin for quite so long?
Oh, is that a Donna plot?
Absolutely, dude. I'll go through the whole goddamn thing right now.
Wow.
We're gonna have to talk off the air.
We'll take this up. So, Jake does take Kelly shopping because he can't. He's like, I'm gonna make you dinner because I'm so fucking poor. And she's like, okay, cool. And he's like, you probably wouldn't like me taking you to Taco Heaven anyway. And she's
dude,
like,
what? I mean, first of all, take me right to Taco Heaven. That's where I want to go when I die, dude.
You know, it's better to rule in Taco Hell than serve in Taco Heaven.
That's what they say, Eric.
And so they're at the thing, they're at the counter now, Kelly, and like it is kind of just sick because she's like, I got these cookie dough, it's my favorite, and like she's a kid, dude, you gotta stop this.
But then she goes on to be, it's kind of way worse, is because when you set up like the kitty shit where she's like, oh, ice cream,
yeah,
but then she's like, Parmesan Reggiano, supposed to be a great aphrodisiac, and I was like, what?
Yeah, for what? My asshole?
Like fucking powdered cheese? Okay.
I remember a Parmesan story why it's not an aphrodisiac was my mother had this, we grew up in an Italian family, we had this huge thing of Parmesan, like fresh grated Parmesan from the deli. And I wanted to sneak some, and I was wearing a sweatsuit at the time, like an honest to goodness, heavy sweatsuit at the time. And I got it all over me, like Parmesan everywhere.
Like,
everywhere.
is it snowing?
And so I was like, oh fuck. So I like threw it in the laundry, which happened to be in like right next to the living room. That's where the laundry basket was. And all day I was like, something smells like shit. What is that? What is going on? It smells rotten. And basically, like, I ruined all of the clothes in the laundry basket with this thick Parmesan smell.
Oh God!
You
Damn
You
it!
should have used the incinerator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that Parmesan got stuck on a fence.
That always happens in Parmesan. So they get to the counter, and he's like, Kelly, I'm gonna pay for you, babe, because this is what I could afford. And they're like, it's $43.50, and Jake pulls out $220. He's like, oh fuck. And then Kelly's like, it's okay, I'll forgo the one thing I wanted.
Yeah, totally. Also, it's kind of hilarious because like this is the it's like the Los Angeles in the 90s version of a dude takes out his wallet and a moth flies out.
Yeah.
It's like a dude takes out his wallet and there's literally only 2 20s in it, and the whole grocery store goes, what?
The air like gets sucked out of the fucking place.
It's such a fucking douche chill. And she has to be like, oh, you know what? Too many calories anyway, or something like that.
Yeah, let's take that out. Let's take the Lunchables out. Let's take the fruit roll-ups out.
I guess I won't need a juice box on the way home after all.
All right, this Disney Princess coloring book, that's gonna go.
Daddy, can I keep the Dunkaroos, Daddy?
Exactly. It is so really uncomfortable.
We'll make our own Dunkaroos, you and me together.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
right. This is the 16-year-old girl that I'm having sex with. Grocery store. Hello, grocery store. It's me.
Now we can keep the Hawaiian punch, honey.
So they go back to his place. He's trying to make, and this is some fucking white, speaking of growing up in an Italian family, this is some white bullshit lasagna he's got going on here. Red onions and cucumbers. Get the fuck out of here.
That's
I don't know what's
insane.
going on there, but I'll tell you what's kind of funny is Grant Show was clearly actually cutting those onions because like Kelly is so horny that she's all over him while he's trying to cook these onions. And they have this like close up of the 2 actors of Grant Show and Jenny Garth. And like you can see Grant Show's like actually crying from the onions because I was
Really?
because I was like, well, Jake doesn't give a shit about this person and wouldn't be crying over this situation, but like there's just this like single gentle tear rolling down his face.
So, she's like trying to put the moves on him. He's like, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets a call and he makes some sort of like really cryptic remark. And he's like, oh, no big deal. They start making out. Then all of a sudden this woman shows up and she's like, Jake, we had a date tonight. What's going on? Who is this? And blah, blah, blah.
I
And
don't know, Margot.
Well, that's the thing also, by the way, is Margot is the bartender at Shooters.
Oh, is she? Okay, I missed
We've
that.
seen her earlier in the episode already.
Got it.
But
And
with
I
like with the
initially-
Billy and Allison, or maybe with the Rhonda storyline.
I initially was like, oh my God, is this, he's trying to get a 3-way going on here?
Yeah. it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
who knows? But she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe this. And he goes outside. Like there's a big blow up and they go outside. It's my favorite part of any episode thus far is she's like, did I do a good job, Jake? Did I do a good job? Yeah, it's good acting. Thanks a lot, Margot. Here's a bottle of wine as we prearranged to discuss this fucking wino doing acting for fucking booze.
Totally, dude. We'll dance for booze.
Anything you want, Jake. You want me to play a school principal next week? I just need the red stuff.
Did I miss that? I thought she brought it for their date or something.
Oh, did she? Oh, I thought
Yeah,
I
he
thought it
did.
was payment. Okay, all right.
He does at least give it back to her though.
Right. And then he goes back inside and because now Kelly's like, what the fuck, man? And he just goes, I feel nothing for you or anybody. And though I could hide my cold gaze, and when you shake my hand, you'd feel flesh gripping yours, but I'm simply not there.
It is so fucking, dude, just break up with this 16-year-old girl. It's so easy to do. You just say, hey, it's not legal. I'm too old for you. I'm not that, even be like, you want to be rude about it. You can be like, I'm not that into you, like I thought I was, but I'm not, blah, blah, blah. It's better off for everybody if we don't see each other than do this fucking like Saved by the Bell prank that you're pulling on her.
There's not even fucking cell phones yet. You could ghost someone so easy.
Exactly.
Well, not when she keeps fucking showing up at your apartment.
Well, you just tell Mel Rose to keep burning the garbage.
And that's kind of, I mean, then Jake goes back to shooters and it's like, I guess I am an empty vessel. You and me, Sandy, we're going to kill everybody. And she's like, that's right, baby.
They start like shooting pool. And it's the first time he actually says it. He's like, she was too young. And I'm like, dude, if you came to that fucking realization 3 episodes ago, you could have saved us a lot of time and the Jake character could be developed a little more.
I also love this fucking shell game you're pulling on the poor teenage girls you're trying to get to watch this show, which is like, hey, all your Beverly Hills 90210 friends are gonna be here. Yeah, they're gonna be in for about 6.5 minutes and maybe some Kelly stuff, but that's about it.
Well, they're kind of hoping that you're like hooked by all the other intrigue.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Will Jane fuck Michael? I don't know.
Well, if Kelly's into Jake, then I should be into Jake.
Well, if they're gonna be into me, of course. I'm so charming.
That's right, everybody. You gotta stay at the party. You never know what job I'm gonna have next week.
I do love though, like, so the end of the episode it ends on the Jake storyline because it's after Sandy gives the ring back to Jane and like, you know, Jane and Michael close the door and go to bed. And like Jake is sitting on the steps and it's like oh, I guess we're, human beings after all, maybe. I don't know. Good night, Sandy. Good night, child. And like she goes upstairs and he lives downstairs and they have like they look at each other and the saxophone is running wild like fucking fire in a dry field. The saxophone, dude. Spreading.
It's the early 90s, baby. We had to do it.
It was incredible.
An old fat Darren Star is looking up from the other, peeking out through his window blinders, seeing like, oh, these characters can go. Oh, they're not sexy enough for me. They're not. They gotta go.
Meanwhile, Billy is in the middle. Not Billy. Matt is in the middle of Eyes Wide Shut at this other party that we never get to see.
Matt, it's like you cut to Matt and his bad sneakers, and it's just like, bong, 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 bong.
Listen, Matt, it's me, Cindy Pollock.
Oh, that girl didn't die for nothing. And that caps
that's
it
kind of
off.
that's kind of the episode. I mean, I guess I'll ask now that we're finally doing 90210 characters in this, and this is the way we're ending the show for now, anyway. How excited is everybody for episode 4 coming up? I'll start with you, Eric Siska.
Episode 4 of Melrose Place?
Yes, Melrose.
You know what's funny? It's like I've been enjoying 90210 and Melrose Place pretty thoroughly on these rewatches, first watches for me. I'm excited for the next one, but I'm hankering to get back to 90210. Every single episode that we trade off on, I'm like, what are they talking about in that high school?
Andrew?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm excited to continue on both, especially Melrose though, dude. For next week, strap in, everybody. Special guest star Zach Galligan as Allison's pseudo coworker, I believe, Rick Danworth.
Step coworker. That means it's legal.
Christopher Cabin.
Oh yeah, I like my sexy kids and my sexy adults separated. I don't want them to mix together.
That's true.
So I'm kind of looking forward to being just sexy adults from now on with this. Hopefully, I say hopefully. Fucking fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're all. I mean, now Dylan's on the 90210 feed. You've got your friends. Now the 90210 friends are fully gone here. Both are in full swing, and this virus seems to never be letting up. So we will join you next Monday here on MELR0210. I have been Steven Sadak.
Andrew Jupin.
Eric Siska.
Chris Gabin.
Remain indoors.
That was a HeadGum podcast.